Well, Solomon, this fire displaced several residents here, leaving many of them without a home right now. Fire taking down several buildings. According to the National Retail Federation, an estimated 164 million Americans will shop this Thanksgiving weekend. Take a look at this. This is where all the snow is being moved to, just outside the city in Glenmont. Hey, Solomon K. Kenneth Booth spent much of 2016 in a hospital. Stewart says the surge is temporary. However, they recommend motorists to fill up now. But items like Cheerios won't be available here for much longer. A 4-pack will cost you $13. However, the rosé is not expected to be around all summer. Along with the water, boxes of hygiene goods and clothes of all ages are also being shipped to Puerto Rico. Hi, Solomon. John Gomes was arraigned just after 8 o'clock here at City Court tonight, accused of causing this massive fire.
It was definitely something that I wanted to do, and I sought the caseload and got it.
Amy Maryhugh has been a parole officer in Albany County since 2015. Every year, this is how she spends her Halloween.
I don't think anybody grows up dreaming of supervising sex offenders.
This year, she's working with senior parole officer Daniel Tobin. They're checking in on dozens of registered sex offenders in order to protect children and the public this Halloween.
We're looking for compliance with their conditions of release. Every parolee has conditions of release that they must abide by.
No costumes, no candy, nothing that would entice the children to come to the house.
At the first 3 visits, the parolees were all in compliance.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
All 3 were also breathalyzed, showing no alcohol in their systems.
0.
But just as they wrapped up their 3rd check-in, the officers got a call for a possible violation. Following an interview, they learned an Albany parolee had some contrabands, including extra cell phones, all of which is a violation of his conditions.
I didn't know if it worked or didn't until the other day.
Why would you take it if you weren't allowed to have it?
I don't know.
He's going to be taken into custody tonight and lodged at the Albany County Jail, and he'll face a parole violation with a parole board in a couple weeks.
These efforts will continue long after trick-or-treaters are finished collecting candy. Parole officers will keep visiting the parolees twice a month unannounced until their term is up. It's a job Maryhugh takes pride in as part of their effort to keep the public safe.
If I can prevent even one person from being harmed, then it's worth it. I've kept someone from becoming a victim, and there's no better satisfaction than that.
In Albany, Jackson Wang, Spectrum News.
This is probably one of the most hottest practices we've had.
This week's unseasonably hot and humid weather has made practices more difficult for high school teams across the capital region.
It's been extremely hot. Everyone's been trying to get mentally focused for the game.
With temperatures in the high 80s and low 90s, players at Mahonison have been practicing without pads all week. Instead, it's been just helmets as they tried to stay cool.
Two-a-days wasn't this hot, actually. It was cooler two-a-days than it is now.
Head coach Scott Sabrin says Wednesday was their first day on the turf field after working out all week on grass. He says typically turf is 10 degrees hotter compared to the grass.
Our trainer's done a really nice job of keeping us aware of the heat index. We've been giving the kids a lot of water.
Sabrin also says hydration has been heavily preached to his players all week, even when they're not practicing. But players believe if they can battle through this heat, they'll be ready for Thursday night's game.
It's going to be hot. You're going to be sweating. Trying to want to have them fight past that in a game. If they can't do it in practice, it's going to be kind of hard to do it in a game.
Yeah. Let's go. In Rotterdam, Jackson Wang, Spectrum News.
Let's run it.
Working on scenes, perfecting monologues.
I jumped right into it. I was really excited.
4 times a week, preparing to bring Shakespeare to life.
The first thing I said on my first day here was that I wanted to be Juliet.
It hasn't been easy for these actors and actresses. But then again, this is not your typical production.
All of these kids are entering at a very different place. So we work with them individually to take them as far as we can in the 6 weeks that we've got.
These youths are in the Berkshire Juvenile Court System, and this is their sentencing. Since 2001, Shakespeare and Company have been working with the Berkshire Juvenile Court System to offer youths that have made mistakes in their early lives an alternative sentencing.
It's really powerful and it's really effective, and it's surprising because it's Shakespeare.
Kevin Coleman and Jenny Jadow works closely with the actors. The first few weeks can be very daunting, especially learning Shakespeare.
When I first came, I was like, is this English?
They'd rather go to jail.
Yeah, and say
They'd rather do almost anything
Anything.
else.
But many end up sticking it out, finding meaning in Shakespeare's work. They also make friends and learn to perform on a stage.
I really thought I was going to be scared on stage, and then I learned to get a bond with the people.
We have found that the vast majority of our kids have benefited from programs like the Shakespeare program.
Joanne McMenemy sentences young offenders to the stage.
Later in life, they might be facing a challenge, they might want to quit, but they're going to see it through because they remember what it felt like to complete a program like Shakespeare.
Rehearsal hits its 5th week. Actors and actresses are working on their fight scenes, which appears to be the favorite of many.
It's this huge weapon, and it's just great that they trust us with it.
Wednesday, they hit the stage in a closed performance in front of their family, friends, and members of the court system. And when the curtains come down, many say they'll leave with more than just an appreciation for Shakespeare.
It gave me life lessons to go out and meet more people and to be more social.
Yes, I would like them to understand Shakespeare better. Yes, I would love for them to engage more in theater. But overwhelmingly, the key for me is I want them to leave knowing that whatever the task is, they are capable and they will survive it if they put their mind to it.
In Pittsfield, Jackson Wang, Spectrum News.